mynews.studio.
There's been a major development in Australia. Researchers have used mRNA technology to coax HIV out of hiding. The question is, could this actually bring us closer to a cure?
And just to set the scene, today's date is June 28th, 2025. Let's break down what's new here. Scientists in Australia are using mRNA, the same tech behind COVID-19 vaccines, but this time they're aiming it at HIV. What makes this approach stand out from everything that's come before?
The key difference is in how the mRNA is delivered. It's packed in these tiny lipid nanoparticles, which can actually reach cells that are infected with HIV and, crucially, force the dormant virus to reveal itself. HIV has always had this trick, hiding in reservoirs inside the body, making itself invisible to both the immune system and to most treatments. By exposing those hidden cells, we give the immune system and current drugs a real shot at clearing them.
Is this something that's ready to be used by patients now, or are we still talking about results in the lab?
We're still early in the process. These are laboratory results so far. No trials in humans yet, and that could take several more years. But the fact that this method works in HIV-infected cells is a big step. No one's managed to force the virus out of hiding this effectively before.
This comes at a time when people are saying we're in a so-called golden age of cancer treatment. What's actually changed in cancer care?
What's really changed is the rise of immunotherapies and personalized medicine. Now, treatments can target the specific genetic mutations behind a person's cancer, which means more effective results and usually fewer side effects. Survival rates have been improving, and there's less fear and stigma around a cancer diagnosis than there used to be.
Are these new treatments becoming widely available, or is it still mostly the wealthiest countries that benefit?
That's where things get complicated. Scientific advances are one thing, but then you have to deal with regulatory approval, costs, and the need for proper infrastructure. For example, mRNA therapies have strict cold storage needs, and healthcare workers need specific training. For countries with fewer resources, that means upgrading labs, improving supply chains, and providing education about how these treatments work.
So in practice, is there a risk that these advances could actually make health disparities worse if only some countries can afford or deliver them?
That's a real concern. If there's limited supply or high costs, who gets access first? Organizations like the WHO are trying to make distribution fairer, support local manufacturing, and work on pricing. But unless equity is a priority from the outset, we could see uneven access.
We've talked a lot about HIV and cancer, but there are other areas seeing progress too. Early dementia detection is improving, and some regions have nearly eliminated diseases like trachoma. Do you see these as signs that we're entering a new era in public health, or is that too optimistic?
It's definitely a sign of what's possible. Medical innovation is already saving lives and cutting costs. The bigger question is whether we can scale these advances globally and do it fairly. If science, policy, and funding come together, millions of lives could be changed.
If someone's listening right now, what should they take away from all this? Should they feel hopeful, or maybe a bit cautious?
I'd say hopeful, but with realistic expectations. Breakthroughs are happening, but translating them from the lab to the clinic takes time and a lot of work. The next few years will really show us how far these advances can reach.
We began with that image of HIV being forced out of hiding by mRNA. It's a reminder that every big headline covers a long, difficult journey from the lab to real-world change. Thanks for joining us for this look at what could be a pivotal moment in global health.
Stay curious, keep questioning access and equity, and keep an eye on this field. Thanks for listening. This episode was brought to you by My News Studio. Give it a try for free.